All right. You
Well,
got
hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. So glad that you guys are here and joining us for this Design Your Life event. And so what we want to do tonight is we want to share a little bit about the difference between living life by design and living life by default. By show of hands, how many of you are on the design train or want to be, right? None of us want to be on the default train, but guess what? Most people are. So when we walk out of here today, we want you to not only be committed to the fact that you want to be designing your life, but also have a tool in hand that can really help you with that process, because it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to do it. So I'm going to kick us off. My name is Lissa Figgins, and I was that girl who had no vision, no goals, didn't really know what my purpose was, and was just living from one day to the next. You know, if you've maybe found yourself because of being in mom mode or in career mode or just life mode, that just, there are two things that are inevitable, right? Time passing and us aging. And it was passing me by. And so really it came down to some milestone moments in my life where I said, you know what? Time is going by too fast and I want to be intentional. I don't want life to just keep passing me by. And I want to make sure that I am living by design and using the time that God's giving me to do the things that I'm called to and know what that purpose is. And so I love this community because that's what we're all about, is encouraging, inspiring, challenging one another to live by design. So what we want to do is just open it up to those of you who are on here with us live and say hi to those of you who are watching a replay. Tell us, we're going to go real quick around the room and just tell us who you are and why you're here. Like, what intrigued you to be here tonight and to be talking about designing your life? So Nikki, I'll just call out names and then you can just give us a quick 15-second intro.
Nikki Timberlake, and I'm here because I needed more structure in my life and more accountability and a bigger inner circle. So that's why I'm here.
You're in the right place. Good. Gretchen.
Sorry, I'm Gretchen Richards, and I'm here just sort of I actually do coaching with people for accountability and goals and stuff, and I thought this was a good way to augment that with sort of the app and the gaming aspect of it to sort of help keep them on track. So I'm here to kind of investigate that.
Fantastic. So glad that you're here, Gretchen. I think you're going to see it's a great fit for someone who's already working with clients. So Kristen.
Me?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Oh. We have a Christine and a Kristen. So go ahead, Christine.
So I'm here. I just want to be able to, as what it says, design my life. I'm an accountant by profession and then life coach by purpose and writer by passion. So
yeah, love that.
I want to be intentional and move towards my goals. So
love that. You are in the right place. You get around other people who are doing that and it's going to raise you up, right? Love that. Okay, Kristen Harvell.
Now that I unmuted myself. Okay. I am here because I had the opportunity to meet my mentor, and everything that she said resonated with me. I was 40 and I didn't have anything else other than my job. And I didn't realize that my life was in balance because I was living it. But I didn't feel like I had a passion and I didn't feel fulfilled. So that's why I'm here.
Love it. And you're on fire. Love it. Shani.
Hey guys. Oh, sorry. I thought you said Katie.
Go ahead, Katie. Go ahead.
Okay. And I'm sorry if y'all hear my 2.5-year-old in the background. It's bath time. Carrie actually was kind enough to let me hop on this call. I'm actually already part of ULA, but I am new a little bit. And I'm just being nosy, to be honest. I want to see the content that you guys are talking about and just really benefit from that. So I appreciate you guys letting me be on the call tonight.
Be as nosy as you want, Katie. That's amazing. I love that. We love nosy people because once you nose around in here, you're going to want to stay. So good. Okay, Shani.
For sure.
Hey everyone, Shani McKee. I am part of ULA. Joined ULA back when ULA launched, and I love it for the self-care and accountability.
So good. Deborah, tell us about you.
Yes, I joined from Carrie to Shaney, and I love it for the accountability and the community. It really helps you just press through for your goals. So, and the playing on the app is the game. They do make it a fun game. So thank you.
Love it. Love it. Leith, tell us about you. Why are you here?
I am here because I want to continue to do self-improvement, self-growth, self-development, and stay on track, inspired. That's why I'm here.
Love it. We all know this is where you come when you want those things, right? Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel, a personal trainer and gym owner, and I am using ULA to move forward for myself as well as my clients.
Love it. And you're going to find, if you're nosing around tonight, that we incorporate a lot of different areas of life. So whatever background you're in, it's going to fit in, and you're going to love how it brings it all together. Good. Okay, Chrisleen.
Hi, I'm here. Leith invited me, and I just wanted to learn more about it.
Fantastic. Well, you got a good person to introduce you to it. Leith is amazing, and love the fact that she's sharing this with other people. That's what we do. We find a good thing, we got to pass it on, right? Okay, April.
Hi, I'm April, and I joined ULA because I felt overwhelmed by all the goals I wanted to reach, and I feel like that ULA helps it make it more doable and bite-size, I guess, baby steps. It helps you reach your goals and puts them in organization, and also for the community.
Love it. What I love is that everybody had a unique answer, right? Something unique to you that's drawing you in, whether you've already said yes or you're just checking this out for the first time. And yet there's so many commonalities, right? So many threads that are weaving through all of this. So I did not ignore Carrie. I purposely am leaving Carrie till now so that Carrie, you can introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your story and why you're here.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And Lisa and I are going to be co-facilitating this next 30 to 40 minutes with you all. Because I am a speaker and an author, and I'm known as a vision expert. I've been teaching people how to have a crystal clear vision around the life that they want to create for almost 30 years. I was ULA before there was ULA, I've been telling people. So I'm known as a vision expert because I'm super passionate about it. I created my own vision when I was in my late 20s. And when I sat down and wrote it out, it became very, very clear to me what I wanted to create in all the areas of my life. And Lisa's going to be talking a little bit in a minute about the 7 different areas. But one of the things that I love getting people to think about first, because this is kind of a workshop / informational thing. We want to help you and give you some things to think about and write about. So I don't know if you have paper in front of you, but I'm going to give you something to think about right now that most people have never done. And that is to think about the timeline of your life. Because here's the reality is that time and aging are non-negotiable. You can't stop time and you can't stop aging. So when I will do a small workshop, a half-day workshop, all-day workshop, I talk to people about, can you think 3 years out for me? So if you all right now, we're thinking 3 years from today, this would be what, February 21st, 2025, 24? Yeah, 25. Thank you. So write that date on a piece of paper. And after you write that date, write how old you will be on that day. Right? Because again, we don't think about that. We don't think about 3 years out, how old we will be. And then write the ages of the people that are important in your life. Your kids, grandkids, parents, grandparents, anybody who is really involved in your life, think about how old they will be on this day 3 years out. Is anybody seeing like, wow, okay, major like eye-opening thing? Raise your hand if that was like, wow, like didn't think about that. I really need to think about that, because organically what happens every 3 to 5 years, you all, is there's life shifts that happen because of aging. And so again, going back in my story, I started doing this in my late 20s when I was newly married, and I didn't have kids yet, but I knew that I would at some point. And so I started looking 3 years ahead as to what this would look like as a new mom. And then when I was a mom, I started looking ahead as to what it was going to look like when my kids were 3 to 5 years old. I mean, everything about my vision became, what is the vision of where we're going next and how can I prepare now? So you start reverse engineering the plan. So I had a 3-year plan to be at a certain point in my business then, so that I could be a stay-at-home mom and put my kids into private school. That was just my story. Some people have a 3-year plan that they want to get fit. They want to get really healthy, lose some weight, be with their family, whatever that is. Some people, a lot of people have financial plans because they're not seeing the finances where they want it to be. And so they see 3 years out where they want it to be at that point, and they start reverse engineering the plan. Do you get what I'm saying, you guys? Is that we have to have targets. I'm a really big believer in vision boards, and I have a beautiful one that's right in front of me that I'm looking at right now. But vision boards, if you just put pretty pictures on a board and you don't put dates on things, it's just a someday plan. So we have to have targets on things, and that's what I've been teaching forever. And I've been teaching people to write their vision in the 7 key areas of their life, which is what Liz is going to talk about now.
Unmute. There we go. Unmute. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see these. Just a minute. There we go. Okay. All right, so we are imagining living life differently, right? Because if we're not living on by design, we're living by default. And so we want to just take a few minutes to think about where most people are at right now, right? We live in a very unbalanced world. Would you agree? There are a lot of things happening around us. And so I want to highlight some of those things that are happening around us. Fitness, 42% of people are overweight. And we all know that not having a healthy body leads to a lot of stress and a lot of things coming down the pike for us as we age. So that's a key one. Finance. Most people do not have $1,000 in the bank. So if something were to happen to your car, an appliance, you were to have some kind of emergency, most people would have to go into debt, go to a credit card, some other option like that to be able to take care of that. That can be definitely very stressful, right? So you think about families, right? Families are going through a lot of issues. 53% of marriages are ending in divorce, which we know changes everything for everyone that's affected by that. Then we've got people that are going to a field that they don't love. Look at the statistic, 70%. 7 in 10 people are going to a job every day that they do not love. Right? And imagine, what does that do to your productivity and what you're doing at work? What does that do when you come home and you've been spending all day long doing something that does not fill you up? That's definitely a challenge that most people are facing. Faith is being removed everywhere around us. And a lot of people are just wondering what that looks like. 7 out of 10 people have toxic relationships in their life when it comes to friendships. That's a really high number, right? Friendships that are tearing us down, and that's going to lead to a lot of stress and imbalance. And then, of course, because we just skipped over, and there we go. Fun does not have a place right in our life, because when you're overweight and you don't have money, and your family is experiencing a lot of issues, and you don't have a job that you love, and you're not quite sure about your faith, and you're not seeing a lot of it around you, and you have toxic relationships, it's really hard to have fun. So I want you to look at this list. You may find that as you're looking at some of these, you're thinking, okay, I've got that area like pretty well under control. This is something I've been working on, but I'm guessing that there are probably at least 2 or 3 of these areas that you might be struggling with, that might be feeling like, that's something, either it's just not where I want it to be when I think about that 3-year plan, right? When I think about 3 years from today, where I want that to be, or maybe it's something that has been out of balance for a long time, and it just needs your attention. So before we show you the answer to all of this, we're not going to leave you with bad news. I want you to write down on that piece of paper, and we'll circle back to be able to talk again in a few minutes, but I want you to write down right now, which of these, maybe pick 1 or 2, do you feel like, I'm really rocking in this area. Like if you were to put on a scale of 1 to 10, these would probably be in the 8, 9, or 10 category. Notice they all start with F, which I love. It makes it easy to remember them. And then I want you to identify 1 or 2 of these that, you know, if you were to be honest with yourself, they're probably less than 5 and maybe, you know, maybe way down on that scale of 1 to 10. And these are areas that if you put some attention and intention towards, they would make a big difference in your life, especially when you look at your 3-year plan. So you're gonna have two lists. You're gonna have the list, you're gonna have 1 or 2 that are strong right now and you're working on and you're seeing changes and growth. And then you're gonna have 1 or 2 that you're really feeling need to get some more attention. Okay, so you got those down. Hold on to that because we're gonna circle back to that in just a few minutes. But we don't wanna leave you with the bad news, right? What we wanna share with you is a solution, something that can help you with not only a system, like you heard many people mention, having something to give some structure to how we design our life and what it looks like, and then also support. And what I love is that Ula beautifully puts these 2 things together. Because I was that girl when, if you would have asked me several years ago, what was my 3-year plan, I had no idea. And I thought that was just because I was a busy mom and I didn't have time to think about it. And yet here's Carrie telling us that no, that's not how it has to be. No matter what's going on in your life, you can have a plan and you can be working towards that plan, no matter how busy life is. And so because of that time in my life, I was not choosing to have a plan. Guess what? 3 years passed by like super fast, and we weren't in any better position than we were before. In fact, usually if you're not going forward, you're actually sliding back slowly, right? Would you agree? So when I was introduced to the ULA tool, I got super excited because after that, I did come to a point where I decided I was going to live by intention. However, I was doing it on my own. And we all know how that goes, right? So like you have good times and bad times, and you work really hard at something and then you let yourself off the hook. And it just was very inconsistent. And so when I was introduced to ULA, I got really excited about how this system brought together both the support that I needed as well as a light structure to help me be able to design my life. And now I love being able to look at my app and see that I have taken almost 400 steps since I've started using this tool. And I will tell you right now that I do not recognize what things look like. But we're not here to talk just about us. This is about you and what's going to be best for you. So I want to go ahead and show you a quick video so that you can see a little bit more what ULA is all about. And then after this, we will take the slides off and we'll do some more talking about how this applies to you in those areas you wrote down.
Do you often find yourself feeling stressed, overwhelmed, out of balance, or searching for more purpose? You're not alone. Today, more than ever, people spend the majority of their lives driving to a job they hate, grabbing unhealthy food through a window on their way home, only to arrive back home to a situation they can't stand and spend their downtime staring at a stack of bills they can't pay. It doesn't have to be this way. Imagine having the energy to live your life to the fullest, doing the work you love, feeling financially secure, experiencing deep, meaningful connections with family and friends, confidently pursuing your purpose, making time for self-care, and finding joy in each new day. That is the ULA mindset. Welcome to a better way, a better you. We exist to improve the world for all by helping individuals create a life of balance, growth, and purpose. How exactly does ULA work? We like to call it a year of transformation. It's a proven step-by-step digital framework for personal development that is completely unique to you and personalized to your goals. ULA was developed by world-renowned work-life balance experts and international best-selling authors, Dr. Dave Braun and Dr. Troy Omdahl, as a simple yet highly effective resource that's applicable to anyone with the desire to vastly improve their lives. ULA's digital platform is self-paced, easy results. But don't take our word for it. We've already helped over 1 million people change their lives for the better, and ULA can do the same for you.
Hi, I'm Kelly from Carlsbad, California, and using the ULA framework, my husband and I paid off over $300,000 in student loan debt.
My name is Kristen Warnica, and I live in beautiful Bend, Oregon. I've loved and lived ULA for years, from healing an autoimmune challenge, leaving an unhealthy toxic marriage, and repairing my life after divorce.
Hey there, Sean here from Forest Hill, California. With the ULA framework, I lost 45 pounds, reconnected, and strengthened my faith.
Hi, I'm Michelle from Perth, Western Australia. Thanks to ULA and the Green Gap Principles, I paid off $52,000 in 52 weeks.
It all begins with phase 1, Design My Life Blueprint. This is where you'll identify key stress points in your life and create a path toward eliminating them. Once you've completed phase 1, you'll have a deeper understanding of the imbalances in your life, along with a plan on how to fix them. Thus, the blueprint is making positive changes. Phase 2 is called My Breakthrough Experience, and it is exactly that. Customized content to help you break through what's been holding you back. Bad habits, self-doubt, and all other limiting beliefs that don't belong in your mind. When you're done with phase 2, you'll have the confidence and self-belief that you can take on anything life brings your way. The final phase is called My Personalized Path. At this point, you've broken through your personal roadblocks, gained a better understanding of your own goals, and developed more self-confidence to reach your dreams. Each month, you'll unlock personalized content to help keep you focused and moving forward on the path toward the life you deserve. Simply put, ULA's innovative e-learning platform is built for results, but there's so much more to it. The ULA community is over 1 million strong, and not only do they become friends, but also accountability partners who support you on your journey to a better life. Included in your program are highly supportive inner circles and quarterly summits, along with direct access to the ULA guys twice a month in their renowned master circle. Additionally, you can download ULA's companion app, which becomes your virtual life coach, encouraging and helping you stay focused. A simple click marks another step toward achieving your personal goals. Countless success stories of real people around the world confirm that the simple, practical, and transformational ULA lifestyle framework can help anyone achieve what they truly want. To get healthy, eliminate debt, build wealth, move into their dream career, have more fun, create a better circle of friends, resolve family conflict, find their life's ultimate purpose, and so much more. Are you ready to live ULA? Join the global movement of over 1 million people in 43 countries who've designed their lives for the better. Your best self is waiting. Get started at ulalife.com today.
All right, Carrie, I'm gonna turn it.
So everyone, I want to just check in and get some dialogue going. So how many of you all know that you have some areas of your life that needs a little bit of attention, just a little bit more of attention, right? Anybody? Yeah. So here's the thing about what we know. It's so easy by human nature to get up every day and work on the things that we are comfortable in and that we're already crushing, because it's easy. But it's not easy to pump air into the areas of our life that really need some attention. And so what you saw, if you saw it really briefly, it went really fast in the video, is when you use the ULA tool and you answer all these questions in the 7 key areas of your life, it shows you a wheel of how you're doing. And imagine if you have a wheel and there's 7 spokes in the wheel, like a bike tire. Each one of the spokes are the 7 F's. And here's the thing, if one of those spokes is weak, let's say in the area of fitness or in finance or whatever, and we don't give attention to the weak spoke, eventually it affects all the others. Would you guys agree? Right? We can't be in denial of the things that need attention. And that's what ULA is about, is that it gets us to understand and be aware of the areas that we need to be giving a little bit more love and a little bit more attention every single day, which is where the daily app comes in, where we set 3 intentions, not in the easy stuff that's the easy go-to because it's comfortable, but 3, little baby steps, just an area of the things that you really need to focus. So I just want to hear from you guys. Like, do you know where your areas are right now where you could really focus a little bit more? Does anybody want to share anything where they're like, yeah, I know I need to really work on this thing? I would love to hear from you guys. Yeah, Leith.
I say yes to all the good things. And so I'm burning it hot. I'm overwhelmed, undernourished, and I know better. And I do it about every 3 to 4 months. I say, yes, yes, yes. Oh, it's amazing. Yes, yes. And then I have to pull back a little bit, get in order again. So what I'm finding, because I'm already using the ULA tool, is that when I'm using it, I stay on track and can be paying attention to, if these are all the things I'm saying yes to, then I have to say no to something else. Yeah, anyway, I could just keep talking about it, but I'll let someone else.
No, this is great, Lee. So you're talking about the area of your field right now, the F of field, right? Where you say yes to a lot of things in your field because, yeah, they all look good. And anybody else do the same thing? Yeah. Get lots of opportunity comes your way and you're just like, oh my God, this looks so good. But so we know in the area of field, then we have some work to do around how do I get better at putting boundaries and saying yes only to the things that are the best thing right now and put the other things on hold, right? So it's a good little boundary. And I've had to do the same thing, Leith, as you know, where, you know, I only say yes to the things that line up with where I want to go next. So anybody else want to share anything? Or at
Can
least-
I add something to that real quick?
Yeah.
Also, not to be confused with saying yes to using the ULA tool. That is one thing that I want to be clear about in regards to, I had a little hesitation when I was first hearing about it too, because I was like, oh gosh, is it going to be one more thing? And I'm so sorry if my internet is unstable. They're working on it right as we speak. Anyways, so using the tool is actually helpful. Yes, it takes a minute to get going and get yourself in place, and then it's really helpful. So I want to make that distinction.
Yeah, no, you're great. Totally understood what you said. Anybody else want to be transparent and talk about an area that they know? Okay, this is something I really know I need to work on. Yeah, go ahead, Nikki.
Mine was fun and fitness. When I did my ULA wheel, it was like, okay, you're boring. You don't do anything fun. I kind of already knew that, but when it's there in black and white, it's like, you're right. I really, work. There's, all work, no play. And fitness, I definitely needed to, get that ball rolling, and it has definitely helped me stay on track and, putting in my action steps each day and ticking them off. It's like, yes,
so good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's kind of an eye opener, isn't it? When you fill out all the questions, you go, okay, yeah, I kind of knew this already, but there it was, like, bam, right in your face. Like, yeah, yep. You need some more fun in your life, right? Yep. Or you need to really, really focus on your fitness, or you need to, your family needs some attention, whatever it is. It's pretty clear where you need to set some daily actions. So thank you for sharing that.
Well, and it's not only just physical fitness, it's mental fitness too.
Totally. Yeah. Anybody else have an aha moment or thoughts around, yeah, I really can see where this is going to help me focus where I need to focus? Yeah, Deborah.
Yeah, so I definitely needed help financially to know, like, the steps to do. And they actually created, after my blueprint, they actually suggested a goal for me. I'm like, oh, is that how you do a SMART goal? And they put it in there. So that was super helpful. And then being an artist, I'd write stuff on pieces of paper everywhere. So now I'm using the app and I'm going in those to-do areas. It's like so helpful. I went in there the other day, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to do that. So, it really helps keep track. It took a brain, a muscle to actually train myself. So give yourself some grace. If you think, like Leith said, oh, it's one more thing to do. It's one more thing to do that is extremely helpful. Yeah. So yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Deborah is a beautiful artist, you all. Anybody else here super creative? Yeah. Creatives sometimes have a harder time with structure and following structure. I totally get it. And this is the thing about the ULA tool, is that it helps us, no matter whether we're super structured already or we're creative by nature, it helps you just stay on track. Anybody else have any aha moments or anything they want to share? or questions that you have at this point, especially for brand new guests here tonight that this is the first time you're hearing about ULA. We would love to clarify anything that is unclear to you right now. Everybody's A-okay. All right. So our role here tonight was to do three things. Number one was to meet you and to help you where you're at. Because Liz and I, both being ULA ambassadors, as well as Shani and a few other people, Leith on here, Rachel, all sharing the tool, Deborah, is that we are just super passionate about this if you haven't figured it out. And yes, you hear a train. That's the background of my noise. Everybody's like, why do I hear a train right now? I live near a train station. I just want you to know that you can create the life of your dreams, whatever you want, no matter where you are in life right now. And the motto in ULA is, it's not a secret, it's a system. Getting your life created the way you want it to be created and following a system of goals is not a secret. It's just a system. It's following the ULA system. And so many of us have shared with you how we have gone in and just built our dream life in there. We're following the app and all the things. And it's just as simple as ticking off 3 daily intentional goals every day on the app so that you stay on track. Right. So I just want to give you all a call to action. Then I'll have Lissa or anybody else, anybody else who are ambassadors here in ULA share anything with you that we can answer for you. But what we love for people to do is just start with being a user of the tool. And the way that you become an ULA member, it's a one-time $77 setup fee. And then it's $47 a month, which is, totally, you can cancel at any time kind of thing. There's no like written obligation. However, what we encourage you to do is go in and do at least the first phase, which is answering all the questions in the 7 areas of life where you're at right now so that you can see your wheel and you can see really where you need to put some focus. And then the second phase is that you get to set some goals in priority based on what your wheel looks like. It totally customizes your goals for you. So membership is just a great way to start using the tools, start getting acclimated to it. We obviously have another step you can take when you're interested in that, where you can become an ambassador, where you can start sharing the tool with other people and building a revenue stream out of that. We're not going to talk much about that tonight because what we really want people to do is become a product of the product and using the tool first. So Lissa, do you want to add anything to that?
I would love to. One of the things that we say in ULA is where you are is just where you are. It's not who you are. So after you go through your assessment and you see your wheel and you see how you roll, like when I look at mine, I had like this one section that looked pretty smooth. And then I had this other section that was like really clunky. And that's okay, right? There is no like, you should be at this number or your wheel should look like this. It's simply a where you are. And just like with your GPS on your phone, once you know where you are, don't you find it so much easier to figure out how to get to where you want to go, right? Whenever we grab this thing to take us to Target or Disney or anywhere in between, the first thing this has to know is where you are. And then we tell it where we want to go, right? And then it will route the way to get from here to there. And so I love that this starts with showing us where we are, but then allows us to dream about where we want to be, right? That we don't have to stay in that same place. And that by taking one small step, like 3 steps a day towards that life, we can completely change where we are and also who we are. And so that personal growth modules that she was talking about are amazing because they customize that to the things that you are working on and the things that you are struggling with and what's coming up and blocking, your path. So that way you're growing the mindset as well as then taking action that's aligned with that. Right. So way more than just a tracker, right? We all have those trackers that help us drink more water, help us get our workouts in, or help us, tick off these different habits that we have, but ULA puts it together and helps us to really grow. And I love that.
Yeah. Thank you, Lissa. Any other of my ambassadors want to add anything that are here? Any questions from the guests? We want to make sure that we answer every question that you have. It's like watching the Brady Bunch, also super quiet right now.
Hey, this is Katie.
Yeah, Katie.
It was Alyssa that just spoke, right? Lissa
Yeah.
or Alyssa? I'm sorry.
Lissa,
okay.
yeah.
So I actually signed up to be an ambassador, I guess it was like 3 weeks ago. And I just wanted to emphasize what Alyssa said, that it's so different than just an app that you have, right? Like these apps that help you keep track of your steps or whatever, because it really is customized to what you need in your life to find that balance. Like I was looking at my wheel, and I don't have a lot of fun in my life, right? And I didn't really realize that until I started with kind of the second phase and the third phase. But I love how it's so customized to me, and it gives me ideas, right? Like what I can do with my family or what I can do in my area where I live. And it's like, wow, like this seems like common sense, but when you're so busy, like I'm heavy in work right now in my life. So when you're so busy, you just don't stop to think about those things. And that's what I love so much about this, is that I didn't have to think about it. It's like, here, you need to do this, right? So I just want to point that out, that it's super customized to you, and it feels that way.
Thank you for saying that, Katie. Yeah. Anybody else have dents in their fun wheel? Seems to be universal, I think, because we just are a culture here in the United States, especially of work. Yeah. And I'm just, yeah, over that. This is my first Zoom in 4 days because I took some time off to go to Arizona and see a bunch of people face to face, you guys. And can I just tell you, it was such a breath of fresh air. Such a breath of fresh air. Want more of that. Anybody else have any comments or questions or anything?
One of the things that I think is really cool is that you actually, the ULA guys, they're part of this too. They do, like today, Dr. Amdahl was talking about Money Monday, you know, and how, what was the thing, how do donuts relate to you getting debt free was the topic of it today, and how having fun, even though you're trying to get out of debt, you can still afford to buy donuts, and which was his weakness. But the fact that they actually participate and are, you know, right there. So many times you get into something and, you know, you never see the people at the top. These guys are right there jumping in, and, you know, one very personal.
Yeah. Yep. There's a whole piece inside of ULA, you all, that is all about getting out of debt and building wealth and having fun at the same time. It's called the Green Gap. It's amazing. It's an amazing, amazing thing. So if you or any of you are in debt and you're looking to figure out how to get out of that as quickly as possible and build wealth and have fun at the same time, this course is truly, I've never seen anything like it. It's amazing. Thanks, Nikki, for sharing. Anybody else have any comments or questions? Awesome.
Let me unmute myself right quick, Carrie.
Okay.
I was going to say that I have so many different pieces moving throughout the day. But I noticed when I started using ULA that there were some really big holes that I completely overlooked because I was just going to take care of it later.
Yeah.
And when I started using the app, I had all those nice, big, pretty pictures on there that I wanted to do. But then when I actually started doing steps, I had to go in and change stuff because I realized that was just, you know, that very, very far goal. And the goal I need now is this one. And I love that it wasn't rocket science or so technologically advanced that I had to like figure out how to do it. I changed my mind, which people do, and I changed my goals to fit that. And I've never found anything where you can just make a change like that besides your own.
Thanks for sharing that so much. You know, life was never intended to be this hard, you guys. We just make it 10 times harder than it needs to be. It's supposed to be simple, and we're supposed to enjoy it, and we're supposed to have fun along the way. And somehow we just got derailed, and we are the most stressed out, as Lissa shared the statistics earlier, stressed out, having no fun, having no money in the bank. Our relationships are rocky. It's just crazy. And as I've said a couple of times, it's not a secret how to turn this around. It's just a system. That's all ULA is a system that we're following to follow, ticking off 3 little daily intentions every day. And for $47 a month, it's amazing, because most of us, a lot of us here have spent thousands of dollars on coaches and mentors to help us do that. So the call to action tonight is that I hope that if you are not at least an ULA member, starting to use the tool, that you will reach out to the person who invited you here and say, you know what, I want to get started. I want to set up my blueprint, and I want to figure out what my wheel looks like and how to prioritize my goals. That is where we want people to start, so that they get super comfortable with the product. And if you choose later to start sharing it as an ambassador, we want to, invite you to our next Monday call that we do every week to learn more about that. And I want to throw in a bonus for those of you who are not members yet tonight, that if you reach out to the person who invited you here and you become a member in ULA in the next 24 hours, I want to give you a downloadable version of my ebook, my workbook called Vision is Victory. So make sure that you reach out to the person that invited you and not wait on that, and become a member and start being a part of our community. So any of my ambassadors, Lissa, you want to add anything? Thank you all for being here.
Thank you everyone for being here. And for those of you who've shared and asked questions, this is about us, right? Just saying enough is enough. And I'm not going to let any more time pass by. So glad that I did. And I know many of our ambassadors and members who are on here tonight, and cannot wait to welcome the rest of you to our community, because like we said in the beginning, you get around people who are working on growing themselves, and guess what's going to happen? You are going to grow as well, right? So such a good place to be.
Yeah, and if we didn't meet you at the top of the call and you want to introduce yourself, we would love to hear from you. If you want to just say hello, because there are a couple people here that weren't here when we opened up.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Who invited you here?
Lisa invited me.
Nice. Did you learn something here tonight?
Well, I kind of missed the presentation, so I'll have to circle back.
Okay.
I'm sure to send you the video, so that way you'll
send
have
out the recording. We're thrilled you came. Thank you. Who else came on a little bit late, didn't get to introduce themselves?
Hey there, I'm Shaya. So Leith invited me, and thanks for introducing me. I went to the website before, and Leith provided it to me, and I just, it's interesting to see kind of some tidbits of the framework, and so I'll look at it.
We would love you to do that. Thank you for being here.
Hello. I'm Barbara. I'm sorry. I just suddenly realized my microphone was on through your whole time, and I hope you didn't hear me, but I'm eating. I had a late supper, and then as I went to put the microphone on to talk to you just now, I'm like, oh my goodness, the microphone's been on all the time. So I apologize for
thrilled you're here.
Any interruptions. I just got in really late, so I did only get about 35-40 minutes of the time. But yeah, I'm with Lissa, and I've really actually enjoyed. I've been a week and a half, I think about a week and a half or 2 weeks maybe, with the ULA tool and the app, and also doing all of the, I did all the questionnaire and everything. So I will say the one thing, I was talking to my son about this today, which is kind of interesting. He came over and he was doing some work, and so I just went down and I talked to him about these goals that I'm making, and the kids are all laughing because I'll post stuff in my in our family chat, and I'll say, well, another one of my goals for this year is such and such. And like one of them is to have a really nice family event together. You know, so I was kind of trying to figure out how we do that. So I put something out in the chat and I explained why I was looking. And I said, I'm not talking about next weekend. It can be in the next year, you know, like just something. So I said, like, I'm doing steps to that goal. And then when I talked to him this morning, or there was something else I posted, and my other daughter was like, man, you and your goals, Mom, you know, all this goal stuff lately. So I did explain to him today about the 7 areas, the F areas. And, you know, he was like, that's kind of cool. And I said, well, I think it was something that Alyssa said one time about, or maybe it was in one of the videos I watched. I can't remember right now, but the guys were saying that somebody went away on a program or on a weekend with their wife, and they made a whole bunch of goals. And then when they, like a year later, they looked and there was this page that they'd made all these goals about, and they examined it and said that they hadn't achieved any of them. And so I said, like, you know, that's kind of the way it is when you just set goals, but you don't have any mini steps on the way to the goals. And I said, I really like the program because it's these mini steps that you make yourself. So like, and I use the case of, say, if you were trying to lose weight, you know, you're not going to say, well, I'm going to lose 170 pounds by next weekend. You know, you want to lose that by next weekend, but you know, that's not possible. So maybe set a small goal that you know is achievable. And you say, by the next year, I'd like to have like 80 pounds off or something like that. And then how do you achieve that? And whether you put that goal into your daily thing or into a weekly one where you're saying, you know, each week I want to do this or whatever. Anyway, I like the fact that you can make it very programmable to you. And so part of mine was about reaching out. One of my goals that I've met already is I made a goal that I wanted to reach out to a long-term friend, because I felt that my friends were an area where I wanted to build on. And I've been saying that for 3 years, that I want to reach out to this person out west, and I'd like to just have a conversation with them. And, you know, because I set the ULA goal, I was like, last Sunday, I went, you know, I'm calling Deb. Like, I'm going to call Deb. And we had a beautiful conversation for an hour and a half. Like, so it just really hit me how, you know, making that commitment to myself to reach out to Faith, to do, you know, different things for my faith, for my friends, for my fun, you know, talked to one kid about, that's living with us. I said, one of my thing was fun. And I said, you know, I put in it that I want to do a puzzle. I want to get through a puzzle. So my daughter brought me a puzzle the other day. And so I was like, man, this is so cool. Like, everybody's kind of buying into it and saying that this is a good tool for mom. So, you know, it's out of the box. It's being divided into little like sections, you know, so that I could try it, because it's a very complex puzzle. I'm like, could you get me a 10-piece the first time?
Oh,
no.
So funny. Barb, you're so funny and so inspiring. And thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we're
What I
thrilled.
love, Barb, is that you choosing to do the things you're doing is having an impact on the people around you, right? And that's what this is all about. This is not just about us. This has a ripple effect, and that's so fun to watch.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. So thank you again for everybody being here. If anybody has any more questions, raise your hand, because we would love to answer them. And if not, reach out to the person again who invited you here. And we encourage you to do what we've done and just take the step to use the tool. It's a baby step, and it's an easy baby step to start putting your dreams into reality, right? So thank you guys for being here. Thanks, Lissa, for co-hosting with me, my ambassadors, my team, and all the guests who joined us here tonight. We appreciate you guys. Good night, everybody.